Hey, hey! So, in today's episode, I would like to talk about the ABBA Deluxe Edition series. This is one of the finest sets of releases that ABBA has ever done, in my opinion. I always liked this series, but especially in hindsight, I got a new appreciation for it. This is, in my opinion, kind of an equivalent of an ABBA anthology. Scaled down to ABBA proportions, there's not too much unreleased material here, but we do get treats and specials here and there with some really exciting material, even on CD for the very first time ever. We know that Björn and Benny are generally reluctant to releasing unreleased material, ABBA recordings, especially on CD, but here we do get some of it. So this series of deluxe editions was released between 2006 and 2014. Every studio album is featured. They even released the Spanish album, and every album has the CD of the original album plus bonus tracks, including every previously released track related to each album, every version of songs, as well as all the B-sides and outtakes that had been available before. And we also get with each album an accompanying DVD with vintage television specials, shows, performances, interviews and reports, rare TV commercials for specific albums and compilations. But above all those DVDs, or most of them, also deliver many alternate versions of ABBA's songs. So what I would like to do in this video is to go through each deluxe edition album and give you the highlights, what is really special that they included on each album. And I will also try to connect back with a previous video that was about ABBA's B-sides, because of course all of their B-sides are included in this set of deluxe editions, except for one. So because that one was vetoed by Björn and Benny, they didn't want that B-side to be released as part of this set, and we have to discuss this as well. And I will start chronologically with the first album, that was Ring Ring. And this deluxe edition of Ring Ring has all bonus tracks on the CD, everything that has been released before, B-sides, multi-language versions, but also brand new for the very first time is the greeting for ABBA's park organizers that they recorded for their very first folk park tour in 1973. What this collection of bonus tracks is missing is the song O Vilka Tider. This was the B-side of the Swedish version of Ring Ring, and the inclusion of that B-side on this deluxe edition was vetoed by Björn and Benny. What is so special about that song is that it is the only original Swedish song that was ever released under the name of ABBA. ABBA never released any other original Swedish song, except for two, which are Sång till Jurel and Uvas Vittne. But those were released on birthday singles and are not part of the commercial ABBA discography. So the song O Vilka Tider, the B-side of the Swedish version of Ring Ring, is very special in that regard. And on my previous video, I mentioned it. I listed it, of course, as part of all of ABBA's non-album B-sides and singles. And it received some comments, actually. So one of them said, "I wish you discussed O Vilka Tider, the song is such a forgotten diamond." And another one said, "I'm so pleased you included O Vilka Tider in the list of B-sides put on the screen, as it's an early song, which I think is sadly overlooked in ABBA's back catalogue. I'd be interested to know what you and others have to say about the song. I love the early stuff and feel that this unique track doesn't get the attention or love it deserves." So what I think about O Vilka Tider is I really like that song. It is very positive, very uplifting. It has a really energetic rhythm, and O vilka sparkles springtime feeling, in my opinion. It's a really, really great early song. And it doesn't matter that the language is Swedish. On the contrary, it makes it even more exceptional and very special that ABBA released a Swedish song. It is even more unfortunate that Björn and Benny vetoed the inclusion of that song on the deluxe edition of Ring Ring, especially if you consider that who's the audience of this deluxe edition series? It's hardcore fans. It's not even the general audience that goes into generally buying and collecting all the stuff in the deluxe edition. So it's kind of superfluous by Björn and Benny to decide to veto the song's inclusion, especially since it was released before. So I don't really understand that. It has recently been released again on the vinyl re-release of the Ring Ring Swedish song, but it is unfortunate that it's the only song that is not included in the entire deluxe edition series, which has been released before by ABBA. The deluxe edition of Ring Ring also comes with 6 extra bonus tracks. And it says extra bonus tracks early versions. But what this is actually those 6 songs are not ABBA. But it's a selection of recordings that were part of the road to ABBA, as I call it, where the future members of ABBA were working together in the studio. The very first track here is Hey Gamle Man. It's a Björn and Benny song. It's the first recording ever to feature all 4 members of ABBA together. And then we have 2 songs by Billy Gison. Both of them were written by Björn and Benny. There's a Little Man, which I really like, and I Saw It in the Mirror. And on those 2 recordings, we also have Agneta on backing vocals. We are not quite sure if she's also on I Saw It in the Mirror, but this makes the very first time in history that Björn and Benny and Agneta were working together on a recording. And of course, I Saw It in the Mirror was re-recorded by ABBA for their debut album, Ring Ring. The next track was also re-recorded by ABBA. It's I Am Just a Girl, but the Swedish original version by Jarl Kulle, written by Björn and Benny for that film soundtrack. And this recording features the original backing track that ABBA would use for their recording as well. It's a very nice song. The B-side, which unfortunately is not on this deluxe edition, is called Ture Sventon and was also written by Björn and Benny for the soundtrack for the film of the same name. And I really enjoy that B-side song, Ture Sventon, but it's not here. Then there's a Swedish solo single by Frida from 1972, which was recorded just a few months after ABBA recorded their first songs together, People Need Love, for example. And this recording by Frida also features all 4 members of ABBA. And the final track of this bonus selection is Välkommen till världen, a song that Björn and Benny wrote for Lil Babs. And this is a personal favorite of mine. Välkommen till världen has all 4 members of ABBA on vocals. And Carl Magnus Palm wrote that it is arguably their most impressive collective vocal performance to date, the first to offer a flavor of the rich harmonies that would become such an important ingredient of the ABBA sound. That alone makes this CD for the Ring Ring Deluxe Edition even more special and very precious. Even though it seems to be quite arbitrary to put songs here that were not recorded by ABBA, but exclude that one song, O vilka, which was recorded by ABBA, especially since most of those songs here are also in Swedish. Anyway, the DVD that comes with the deluxe edition of Ring Ring is very marginal, has only 2 performances, but we also get some exclusive audio material on that DVD, and that is the Ring Ring isolated vocals and backing track elements, which is featured on the 3rd selection here, Ring Ring Revealed. Benny sits on the mixing desk and demonstrates isolated tracks of the Ring Ring recording. But this is also the only time in the entire Deluxe Edition series that we have on DVD a contemporary feature that features one of the ABBA members from today. This special report was broadcast on Swedish TV in 2012. And then we go over to the Waterloo Deluxe Edition. This one on CD, once again, combines all the tracks that have been released before, multi-language versions, even the alternate mix of Waterloo. The DVD comes with many performances of Waterloo, and here we get some exclusive audio material. We get the live versions of Waterloo from Melodifestivalen and Eurovision Song Contest, and we get 3 re-recorded versions of Waterloo from Top of the Pops. So what ABBA did, and what we will come across on this Deluxe Edition series again, is on some TV performances in Great Britain they had to re-record their songs. In later years they simply remixed the original recordings and then performed to playback. So in this case they re-recorded Waterloo in the studio in England, took the tape and performed it to playback for Top of the Pops. Those were some union rules that the version they perform on TV has to be different. So ABBA cheated a little bit here. Instead of performing it live, they recorded the version before, or in later years remixed it and then performed it to playback. And that makes those DVD selections very special because it gives us those alternate recordings of songs, in this case of Waterloo. And I would also like to mention that we did get a 30th anniversary of Waterloo, 30th anniversary edition of Waterloo, 10 years before the Deluxe Edition, which is basically really the same digipack style. It comes with less bonus tracks and a marginal DVD selection, but this was basically the very beginning before the Deluxe Edition series started. This was released in 2004. And the third album, ABBA, comes with the usual bonus tracks, Crazy World and the medley. And on my previous video about ABBA's single B-sides, those 2 songs in the comment section below were praised by many people. Crazy World is a highlight for many, as well as the medley, Big Bale of Cotton on Top of Old Smoky, Midnight Special. That is something I wanted to mention. And I'd also like to do an amendment concerning the medley. I said that it's the only time that ABBA recorded in the studio songs written by other people. But there is one more song that they recorded, which was not written by Björn and Benny, recorded in the studio, I should say, and that's the song Tivet's Hambo. It's an instrumental track which ABBA recorded in 1981 for their birthday single Uvas Vittne, the birthday of their manager Stig Andersson. And Tivet's Hambo was written by Stig Andersson in 1947, I think. And ABBA recorded an instrumental version for that single. It basically doesn't include Frida and Agneta. It's an instrumental version or recording, but it was released under the name of ABBA. So we basically have 2 songs that ABBA recorded in the studio that were not written by Björn and Benny. And people also pointed out, of course, and I was aware of that, but that's why I said in the studio, ABBA did record or perform more cover versions. They did on their early tours from 1970 to 73. Amongst others, they performed songs by the Beach Boys, I Get Around, for example. And in 1978, on the Olivia TV special, they also recorded with Olivia and Andy Gibb the jam session with cover versions of other artists, as well as the in-concert performances, songs by Olivia and Andy Gibb. And there are several more occasions on television where ABBA performed cover versions. In 1970 already on 5 Minute Saloon, California Here I Come, and Red Roses for a Blue Lady. In 1975, Alley Cat. In 1978 on radio, Helango. In 1979, Put a Little Love in Your Heart for the Music for UNICEF concert. For their 1979 tour, ABBA opened with the Swedish folk hymn Gammal Psalm, which was released on the Live at Wembley Arena CD. And in 1980 they also recorded on Spanish TV a traditional Swedish song, Nu alla skål. And Agneta and Frida also recorded on radio Christmas songs in 1978. So there are a few exceptions, but when it comes to the recording studio, the medley is basically the only cover or traditional song that ABBA ever recorded and commercially released as part of their discography. The ABBA Deluxe Edition also comes with a DVD that gives us some exclusive audio material, and in this case it is once again a re-recorded version of SOS, this time for the Seaside Special, and Mamma Mia for Top of the Pops. I really like both of those alternate versions of the songs. ABBA's fourth album, Arrival, was in fact the very first deluxe edition that we got, because this is how it started in 2006. Then it went on chronologically until The Visitors in 2012. And ABBA's first 3 albums were only released on deluxe edition between 2012 and 2014. So the Arrival Deluxe Edition has a lot of nostalgia for me. I was really excited when I got this. It was a very precious release in my early years of becoming being an ABBA fan. And the DVD has one of the highlights in ABBA's entire television career, in my opinion, and that's the ABBA Dabba Doo television special. It's a Swedish television special from 1976, entirely devoted to the Arrival album, and it features some of their finest interviews with the members individually as well as with the group, and we get exclusively filmed music videos for songs from Arrival, which is something very unique. ABBA usually didn't film alternate music videos, and they did for this special, for this 1-hour television special. But we also get live versions of the songs Dum Dum Diddle and Why Did It Have to Be Me. It even says on the back cover, on those 2 songs, live in brackets. And when I read this back in, 19 years ago on my way home, I was so excited because I didn't know the stuff back then, and the internet was fairly new, so there wasn't too much stuff around as it is today. The DVD is very special because it also features When I Kissed the Teacher as an early mix on that special, as well as another re-recorded version, this time Fernando for Top of the Pops. And we get precious footage of ABBA in the recording studio, recording Dancing Queen, which is the first and only time ever that ABBA was filmed in the recording studio back in the day. And not only that, but coincidentally or not, this recording session footage reveals the lost verse of Dancing Queen. There is an additional verse here which comes from the original full-length version of Dancing Queen, which has never been released. So this at least gives us some glimpses of that early version of Dancing Queen. And visually, the DVD also gives us, I think, something very exciting, which is the cartoon video for Happy Hawaii. That was really special. an abandoned television series, cartoon TV series that ABBA was planning to do in 1977. And the Happy Hawaii cartoon video and Money 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 are the only videos that we ever got, and that were ever finished, actually. They abandoned the project, unfortunately. If you want to know more about that cartoon TV series, I did a video about that some time ago, and you will find it on the channel. ABBA's fifth album, ABBA the Album, came with several bonus tracks on CD. One of the highlights is the live version of Take a Chance on Me. And this one is recorded live at Wembley in 1979. It was released as a single B-side, but the version here is an alternate mix. And this alternate mix, it even says on the back cover, alternate mix, was basically lifted from the BBC radio show ABBA in Concert from 79, and was also released, like it is here, as a single B-side in Canada and Australia. The standard single B-side of that live version has more post-production, so this alternate mix from the ABBA The Album Deluxe Edition is closer to the original performance. The DVD for this one has the Take a Chance on Me version with cold ending, and it also gives us an alternate mix of Thank You for the Music as performed on the Mike Yarwood Christmas show. So you can see already now into the fifth album we do get stuff on CD here and there, not quite yet. There will be some really exciting things coming up right now with the next one on CD, but we get all those alternate versions, live recordings, re-recorded versions of songs on DVD at least. And I think that makes it quite special if you regard the whole ABBA Deluxe Edition series now in hindsight. And on this one, ABBA Voulez-Vous, for the very first time we got something previously unreleased. And that's the song Dream World. And now I should say Dream World was released before, of course, in 1994, had its premiere. But I should say the version of Dream World on this one is slightly different to the original release, because they were finally able to find the original version with the full opening. So in 1994 they had to fade in the song due to tape damage, but on the deluxe edition they finally found and released the full glorious opening of Dream World, that circus style, which I think is terrific, and that's how the song is supposed to start, and we finally got it here on CD for the very first time. That was the first time since 1994 that we got something previously unreleased, that small part of the opening at least. And the DVD of the Voulez-Vous Deluxe Edition gives us many alternate mixes, alternate versions of songs. There is the ABBA in Switzerland television special, which is also a very nice show. And this one gives us 3 early versions or early mixes of songs from the Voulez-Vous album. And that is The King Has Lost His Crown, Kisses of Fire, and especially Does Your Mother Know, which is an entire different recording, early arrangement, different version to the one from the album. And the DVD also gives us an alternate mix, another one from the Mike Yarwood Christmas show, If It Wasn't for the Nights, and even I Have a Dream as an extended promo music video. So this one is the live version of I Have a Dream from Wembley, but the full 7-minute version where they repeat the children's choir. I like that, but I'm not so sure if that is a highlight for other people. What was quite a highlight was towards the end of the Deluxe Edition series, fans were very happy that Polar Universal decided to also give us ABBA's Spanish album as a deluxe edition. This album followed the release of Voulez-Vous in 1980. It was released before Super Trouper, and the deluxe edition simply collects the original Spanish album, all 10 songs on CD, and 5 bonus tracks, other Spanish versions that were released after, and a DVD with a small selection of Spanish music performances. What is also really special about this deluxe edition, and very sweet, is that we got a written greeting by Frida herself. It is printed in Spanish as well as in English, talking and reminiscing about the creation of this album, because this is really an Agneta and Frida project. And then we have the Super Trouper Deluxe Edition, and on this one we also got for the very first time something that wasn't released before on CD. On and On and On, full-length version, was released before, but this time, for the very first time, as a stereo mix. It has always been released in mono. It was always released as a music video soundtrack, and in 2005 the full-length version of On and On and On was made available on CD for the first time as part of the complete studio recordings, but in mono, as taken from the music video. But this time they went back into the archive, and finally, I'm so happy about that, gave us the full-length version as a stereo mix. And the DVD is very exciting as well, just visually or content-wise. We get something which is very unique in ABBA's television legacy, I should say, is a documentary about one of their studio albums. And in this case, the documentary is called Words and Music. It's a very nice special with interviews and music videos talking about the tracks from Super Trouper. And we also get previously unreleased material on DVD, not audio-wise. It's footage from the filming session for the music videos of Super Trouper and Happy New Year, where they also shot the album cover. And that is really precious to see footage we have never seen before with ABBA on a photo shoot, something that we never got before, and makes it very special. It's an exclusive feature on the DVD. And the final deluxe edition, chronologically speaking, in terms of ABBA's studio albums, is their final album, except Voyage, and that is The Visitors. It says the final album because it was released in 2012, of course. And this must be the most exciting deluxe edition, because for the very first time, Björn and Benny, ABBA, really went into the archive and gave us previously unreleased material on CD, and in that case, they even labeled it as an extra bonus track. It's called From a Twinkling Star to a Passing Angel. This is a demo medley, 9 minutes of various different early versions of the closing song from the album, Like an Angel Passing Through My Room. Demo versions that they decided were to be re-recorded and re-recorded again until they were satisfied with the final version. This is the first time since 1994 that ABBA released previously unreleased material to that extent, and makes this really, really special. I really like that demo medley. What else we can find on the CD is an alternate edit of Head Over Heels. It's just slightly different to the original version from the album. And on the DVD, we get another alternate edit, and that is from When All Is Said and Done, from the music video. It's also slightly different than the album version. And the DVD also gives us Under Attack with Cold Ending, as well as 2 live versions from Dick Cavett meets ABBA. Those 2 were previously released also on the complete studio recordings on DVD, with 3 other performances. It is unfortunate that they didn't put the entire Dick Cavett meets ABBA special on here, or at least those 5 performances. They limited it to those 2 songs which are related to the Visitors album. But of course, they say that the entire TV special of Dick Cavett meets ABBA is not available in the archives, in their archives. That's the reason why we only got 5 songs in 2005. But the audio is there, and we previously spoke about the Live 77 album, about the possibility, the potential of ABBA releasing a Live 77 album. And I did get some comments saying that I also wish they would release the Dick Cavett meets ABBA show as a live album. And I couldn't agree more with that. This is 9 live performances and some of ABBA's most stunning performances, even with really rare tracks like Me and I, Super Trouper, 2 for the Price of 1, Slipping Through My Fingers, those 2 which are here on DVD, but they should release it as a live album. That would be a really beautiful LP with 9 tracks, very simple. But that's just a side note. Maybe we will do a video on that topic sometime in the future. This is ABBA's Deluxe Edition series. I hope you got the gist of it, of my intention of this video, going through each album and giving you the highlights of what is so special about the releases here on CD and on DVD, because as I said, those DVDs do offer us some alternate mixes, live recordings, etc. And all of that makes this, like I said, the closest that we got to an ABBA anthology, without giving us too much, of course. And it's a beautiful deluxe edition series, and so thought the fans as well, and Universal probably as well, that they did continue the series with solo projects. We even got deluxe editions from the Chess musical and from Frida's first English language solo album, Something's Going On, in the following years. Those come with bonus DVDs as well. And it's particularly interesting that those DVDs for both of those projects come with full-length documentaries for each album, vintage documentaries. And the Chess Deluxe Edition also has 3 unreleased outtakes for the Chess concept album. The highlight, in my opinion, is Press Conference. That is an astonishing track from this bonus selection for Chess. And thus, we have the entire ABBA Deluxe Edition series with the solo albums at the end. And I think it's a very nice series. It's beautiful. It has some content which is very exciting, and all of that is my opinion. So now I would like to know what you think of the ABBA Deluxe Edition series, and especially what's your favorite of that series. Not particularly your favorite album in general, but your favorite Deluxe Edition release, content wise, on CD, on DVD. Let me know in the comments below. And I would like to see you next time once again. Thank you very much for watching. And if you're still watching now, this is a very long video. I would really like to thank you for that. Because I know that this is a kind of new format on the channel. Just me sitting here and talk and give you my insights. And I know that feedback has been very positive about these kind of videos. I really enjoy doing them as they are now, and there will also be more videos coming that go back to the usual style, which are will be more illustrated. But for some topics, I really enjoy just sitting down and talking to you, and I hope you do as well. But if you're watching now, still watching now, I'm almost sure that you do enjoy it. So thank you very much for watching, and I really enjoy all the comments and contributions, especially also on the last episode, the B-sides. I tried to put it into this video a little bit about O Vilka Tider, about the medley. Thank you so much for that feedback, and again, please feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below about ABBA's Deluxe Edition series, and also about the track O Vilka Tider. I am very curious about that as well. Thank you so much for watching. Alright, until then, hej då!